Hey everyone, Superman here, coming to you with a new build video. This is a build that I've made recently, and I've been enjoying it, and I kind of wanted to pass it out there to y'all for you to use or enjoy or make or whatever the case may be for yourselves. But I kind of just wanted to go over the build real fast for you. And just as a disclaimer, for the arts that I use for my videos when it comes to soloing or the arts that I use for my builds in general, they are usually all one of the same. So if you see any comments in other build videos that I have or solo videos that I have, and you see somebody commenting what artifacts that I use for it and loadout or whatever the case may be, if you see my comment and you see what arts I use, because I do say those are the arts that I use. Those are usually the same arts that I use for all my builds or similar arts that I use. But for this build, we'll get into it in a second. It's a little different. So to kind of get into that aspect of arts that I use, I have Lombard card, Mercy, Red Tornado, Manacles, and Tetrahedron of Ergrun. So I do use these arts for this build specifically. Now for honorary mention arts that you can use for this build, you can use Mystic, you can use Distilled Refractor, you can use Everyman Prototype, you can use Clarion. I know a lot of people who would probably use this one for battle tanking. It's Purified Pages of the Black. So you can use this one as well. Um, it's all up to you for those ones, but these are all just honorary mentions and arts from previous builds that I do have videos on as well, just to kind of throw that out there. So if you do comment on what arts I use for my solo builds, I do have videos on them on my channel. It is in a playlist, so if you go to my channel, look at the playlist, and you can watch all the builds from there. They do have the same arts or similar arts, whatever the case may be. It's all there. But and this build will be added too. But that's basically the arts for it. Now the allies, I do have Superboy. I have Mr. Freeze, his support ability 2, and then I have Cyborg for power regeneration. Um, and then for the loadout, I do have Gemstone Shield, Freezing Breath, Brick Golem, Pheromone Bloom. Mercy's attack protocol is what it's labeled because of the artifact, but it is labeled Fortified Golem when you don't have the artifact equipped. So just to throw that out there. Um, and then I have Magma Vortex. So that is um, the loadout for it. Now, my stat points for it, I am spec focus super powered for it, and then I do have my crits maxed out, being the crit chance, crit attack chance, crit attack damage, crit healing magnitude, and crit healing chance. I do have those four maxed out, and then I do have my might and power at 309 currently, and I have my health at 100 currently. Now, the only reason why I have it like that now is because obviously I'm not at enough skill points currently to max out my might and power. So if you do have more skill points than me, obviously you would want to max out might and power, giving it being a battle tank build. So might and power is what you want to max out. Um, I have the rest in health as well, so I kind of wanted to have a little bit of health. Now that I will say is the difference from my battle tank build. I kind of made it a little bit different because normally when it comes to battle tank builds, people would focus super powered and spec it like a DPS. They'll go super powered spec and then crit healing chance damage, and then might and power, and then the rest in healing. I kind of gave it a little bit more of a tanky end, so that's why I do have these two maxed out as well. So just throwing that out there. The augments that I have dominating augments, and then I have four might metagenes. So I do have the leg, to put it simply, the leg metagenes or mods. I have them being might, and then the head I have being dominating. Um, so that's that. Now the rotation for it, how I tend to do the rotation, I always start with the shields, and then I pop brick, give him his shield, and then I pop Magic Vortex, Freezing Breath. Now, with Mr. Freeze being an ally, you do need a supercharge to activate him, so that's why I have Pheromone Bloom to have the healing. But then when I pop the supercharge for the healing, I have Mr. Freeze's supercharge ability popped, or his support ability pops that does damage. So I do have that, and then I kind of just rotate it all through and go from there. Now, as you see, I am spec brawling, but I do have the martial arts mastery as well, so that is optional. That is recommended. So whatever weapon you have, this build can work with, whatever the case may be for it. But I am for weapons brawling with martial arts mastery. So just throwing that out there. But that's basically the rotation of the build. It does put out solid damage, so like if we were to go here, just kind of work the build a little bit. I don't mind spreading some of it here and just go on through a rotation and then just end there. We'll kind of just let the magma vortex do its thing and Brick do his thing for a second, but we'll walk away. And that's the damage there. The damage is 21,107,778. So if that sounds good to you, if you feel like you can make it better, whatever the case may be, do what you want to do for it. I just want to also throw out there when it comes to my builds, I'm putting out videos for builds as a base for you. So like if you are a new earth powered user or an experienced powered user for earth, but you don't know like a real solid base before you want to try to work on different builds or different kinds of builds, to put it simply, um, I'm open always giving out my builds and making a base for you. So if you want to have a battle tank build or at least a solid battle tank build, you can have this one, utilize this one, and then do whatever changes or workarounds you want to do for them, whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And I obviously do know as well there are other Earth battle tank builds out there that are probably better than mine. Some of them are probably worse than mine, whatever the case may be for them. Um, so if you're an experienced player and you have an Earth tank battle specific build, or Earth battle tank build specifically, that you feel like is better than mine, cool. If you feel like you can give me some opinions on my builds or some changes that you might think would be better for it, whatever the case may be, is fine with me as well. Um, if you feel like my battle tank build is cool, that's cool. Just leave it in the comment section down below. Your questions or opinions on it or concerns about it, whatever the case may be for it. Um, so yeah, and I will kind of say this as well. When it comes to my battle tank build, I do have the loadout being a specific way or a certain way because I tend to kind of have um iconic, like a tendency to try to make it iconic in a sense or a little bit. So I made this basically my sun dipped Superman style or solar charged Superman style. That's why I have the magma vortex on there. That's why I still have the frost breath on there. And then I do have pheromone bloom to kind of give like a supercharged healing from the sun, whatever the case may be. I have my little twists and turns on it that I decided to kind of put into it, or my little imagination on it. So if you're an iconic and you're a Superman iconic and you want a battle tank build that kind of gives off a little bit of a reference to something or a little bit of a mix or energy matching, whatever the case may be that you can think about it for, there you go. This is this is good for you. Kind of like how I do have my iconic loadout base build that I have. If you haven't seen that build, it is on one of my most recent videos for my builds actually. So I would go check out my build videos if you want to get into my builds. And for the iconic Superman out there that do want solid builds, especially if they're Earth, um, I got you. I do have my builds here. So especially for new Earth players, um, experienced Earth players, whatever the case may be. My builds, I don't want to, gatekeep my builds because I feel like people want to get better and want to learn how to get better, especially when it comes to Earth power. And I'm willing to sit here and show that and, put it out there for everybody to see. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you enjoyed. Um, much love to you guys. As always, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Much love. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.